first tarot video. I apologize for my voice. It's very coarsey, I know, because I just recovered, which is also why I have my water here with me. So if I cough while doing the reading, I apologize for that. But today's reading is what your guides are going to tell you for right now. What is the message that you really need to hear? So here we have two piles. This is pile 1 and this is pile 2. I just want you to take a deep breath and just choose the pile you're getting called towards blindly. Don't question your intuition too much. Don't overthink it. And if you think you are attracted to both piles equally, then do listen to both piles, because this is a generalized reading and we do not know. I personally don't know what is going to resonate with you right now and what is not going to resonate with you. But here we have pile 1, which is the Simplified Tarot deck by Jasmeet Kaur. And along with that, this is a nut type thingy that is usually used in potpourri. I was literally just looking at it and thinking about tarot, and I felt called towards it to pick it up and use it today for the reading. So if you're called towards any of those, pick pile 1. I'll have the timestamps down below. Secondly, we have this amazing Mythic Goddess tarot deck with, I have some rose petals here, and now that I'm filming I realize just how much they match together. But yeah, if you're getting called towards that, pick pile 2 and I'll meet you there. Bye bye. Hello guys, welcome to this reading. If you're pile 1, this is your reading, and if you have chosen this icon, then either if you're attracted to that or if you're attracted to this deck, then this is your reading. And I'm going to be using 2 decks to do the entire reading. This is going to be my primary deck, which is also the card that you are attracted to, and this is the card that I put down for you guys. It says, you are not focusing on what you want to achieve, or aren't putting the work that needed to achieve the goals, or that you are spreading yourself too thin, which is leading to failure. If this resonates with you, then this might genuinely be your reading. I'm going to be shuffling the cards to pull out more answers on what you're going through right now, what you're doing right now that is stressing you out too much, and that you're thinking about so much, and but you still aren't putting in the work you needed to put in. It sounds like you have been delaying this for a longer time than it is needed, and that you have been thinking about this for a very long time. If I think you might have a strong water placement like Scorpio, Pisces, because it shows that your emotions are very sensitive. You are a very sensitive person, and because of that, being sensitive is not a bad thing in general, but you are letting people take advantage of that sensitivity of yours. You should not be doing that, and you need to balance your emotion to handle such situations. Like, don't let people just come into your life, and don't get attached that easily so that they can take advantage. I know it's harder to not get yourself attached to people, but it is still necessary, because there are some people who are just very unkind and inconsiderate of other people, and they torment you, and if you do not know how to say no to them, you will end up getting very hurt, and you might not trust anyone ever again, which is a very bad thing. I can see that you're getting more aware of the opportunities that is surrounding you, but you need to let go of your comfort zone right now. You need to think big. Once you stop letting other people take advantage of you, it is like you are now thinking about yourself for the first time. Stop thinking about everyone else and start thinking about yourself. And do not do this to yourself again and again. Become more aware of yourself and your opportunities, because I can see that there are a bunch of opportunities that are just surrounding you, but because of the lack of time you have from dealing with other people, you cannot deal with these opportunities, and you cannot do the best that you can for yourself. your hard work and dedication, I can see that you're putting a lot of hard work into this. And until now, it has either gone unnoticed or it's barely noticed. But from what I can see, all of your hard work is going to be recognized pretty soon. You just need to stop putting others before you. In this, again, to get the achievements that you need, you may be needing to collaborate with others or to compete in a project together as a team. And while you're in that situation, you need to let yourself be the priority for yourself at least, and you need to balance your emotions to handle the entire situation. What are the cards? There are two other cards that just popped out. I can see that you are a very brainy person. Like, there are a bunch of ideas that you have, but you are just not implementing them. Because, like, even though the idea is kind of like a baby, if you will, even if it's in a baby stage, you need to take a little bit of action towards it. Unless and until you are very clear in your mind what you are supposed to do, you will not get the recognition you deserve. And for that, also, you need time for yourself. You should always try to rise above. I think I think a lot of people might be jealous of you, and if not a lot, maybe some for sure. You should not give these people a chance. Like, you are meant to do something that is going to inevitably make people jealous, but do not let their jealousy affect you and what you are doing. Your dedication and your efforts are yours alone. And even though these people might be very like close to you, or people you consider close to you, but you do not need to stop taking action for what you want just because of them, just because they are jealous or they are spiteful. If you genuinely want to do this thing that you're planning and you have an idea for, then do that thing. You need to take action. What other messages are for this pile? I'm sorry. Oh. It shows that you have found your inner peace and have a good perspective on things. It is a sign that the relationships in your life are harmonious. This is all you can achieve after you maintain a balance. Even this card says balance and patience and meditation, moderation. See, I'm not sure if you can focus. Wait. Yeah. You need balance. You need to find your own balance. Don't be guided by other people so much. Your balance is something you will have to find, because even though you are emotional, that is a very good thing about you, I feel. But letting other people get in the way of your own actions is not a good thing. Even though they might be saying stuff that you think is correct, or they might be your best friends who are always been supportive of you and are always thinking correct for you, but there are some actions that you just need to take, some mistakes that you just need to make yourself understand what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. So I see that for you, there are some actions that are your own to like mistake. Basically, I don't know if you can understand, but what I'm saying is there are some actions you just need to take, and it can be a mistake, and even you know somewhere deep down that it is a mistake, but this action is a mistake you just have to take to make yourself feel okay, good, and all of that. I am very confused, so I'm gonna take this another deck for clarification. um, okay. There are a lot of cards that just popped out into my lap. So just wait a second. I think these many messages are enough for you. So the first message is the Queen of Swords. I'll explain all of them later once they are done. Nine of Swords. Oh, the Sun reversed. The Empress. The Three of Cups reversed. The Eight of Cups. And the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Okay. So from what I can see is like I just have this weird feeling that you have a very strong water energy. Like either your sun sign, moon sign, or your rising is water for sure. Because this is a lot of watery energy. And I can say so myself because I'm also water baby. But yeah, this is a lot of water energy. And for waters right now, sword is very like Kaleshi, if you will, and Kaleshi is basically fighting, which is not a good thing, but sometimes some fights are very necessary, I would say. The cards here suggest that some fights you just have to go through, and I can see that from this card that you are dealing with anxiety, maybe that can be related to friendship and relationships in general, because from what I can see overall from the cards is you have had trouble dealing with relationships in the past, like whether it be friendships, your parents relationship, your relationship with your siblings, or just any sort of relationship that can include a relationship with God. All of that has been very weird for you specifically, because you have had a tough time just navigating through those relationships. Maybe it could either be all of your relationships or just one of your relationships, but any of those, you have been through a lot of things. And even though people have told you that you need to change your emotional like balance yourself, like these might be people who are actually correct. Because what I can say is that you give just way too much into your relationships, and even though giving a lot is good for some relationships, but it is only good when there is a balance. I keep saying balance again and again, but balance is a very important for you guys. I can see that you haven't found your own balance yet, and you need to find that, because unless you find that and balance your own emotions, you wouldn't be able to maintain relationships like in a good way. And even it can also be work relationships. You need balance to maintain your work relationships also properly. And I can see that you have a lot of opportunities. Like you are a very bright individual and you are amazing at what you do, but you need to take action for that, and for that action you need to be balanced emotionally. Because if you're not balanced emotionally and you're trying to take action that is also either risky or is very tremendous work, both of them are like swaying again and again, you will get tired, you will be mentally and physically exhausted. Because this is a very tough situation to be in. You need at least one of those pillars to be stable to advance in another direction. Like if you're stable emotionally, will you be able to go ahead with your risks in your career maybe? And I can see that you need to take risk. You need to take risk of some sort, and you just need to, for that risk, that risk is very good for you. I can see that it's gonna bring you joy. It's going to be everything you manifested. It's going to make you the empress. If you're a man, then you can also take this as an emperor. So this neck is basically a female based deck. That's why we have an empress only. We have all female cards here. But it is going to give you abundance. You need to take an opportunity, just balance yourself out. Honestly, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but honestly, balance yourself out. Don't overthink it. Don't think that other people are going to feel, nah, no, you don't need to do that, and don't think about other people right now. At this moment, the only priority of yourself should be yourself. Do not think about other people, genuinely do not, because there are some people who are genuinely not giving you a fuck and you are giving them a lot of fucks. Stop, genuinely stop. And apart from that, your lucky number may be 3 or 13. Lucky number, or even your like magic number 3, because throughout the card we have a lot of threes, like throughout the reading. So your lucky number might be 3. So do something about that, or something is going to happen in 3 hours, 3 days, or 3 months. Maybe one of your manifestation is coming to life in 3 months. Whatever it is, you need to take action towards it for that to manifest. So, the only takeaway from this reading, if you will, is balance yourself out, do not prioritize others, and thirdly, you have great opportunities lined up, so do not worry about them, but do take action towards it. Thank you, that's it for today. If you guys have any other queries, maybe, then comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you. Hello, guys, this is the reading for pile 2. If you were attracted to either the rose petals, which are the pink roses, or this deck, which is the mystical goddess deck, then this is your reading. I'm gonna put the rose petals aside because they're just falling out of my hand for some reason. But yeah, you might also be falling for someone, and we do not know. Let's figure it out through this reading. But yeah, this is what your guides are trying to tell you. The first card that I had pulled out for this deck specifically was the King of Wands, or the leader energy. So you might have a very leader like energy or personality, like automatically in group situations you just jump into action. You are the automatic leader for some people, and you may be someone who plans very well, or you may be someone who can lead by example very well. You know how there are just some people in a group setting who can lead very efficiently and very effortlessly, and everyone just kind of is gravitated towards them and listens to them actively. You might be that kind of a person, whether it be in a work environment or in a group setting, like in a group project, if you will, in a school or a college situation, even if it's in a friend group. Like, you know how there are just some people who would just point to a restaurant maybe, and there is no discussion or argument regarding if you're going to the restaurant or not, and everyone just automatically agrees. That might be you. Even in like in friendship, even if you are going on a vacation maybe, then everyone is kind of dependent on you, even though that is not always a good thing, but I can see that for you it might be a very good thing. So I'm going to be pulling out a few cards from for you guys. Okay, some just jumped out. So, oh, wait. Yeah. I can see that you're a very emotional person, but that emotions are not really visible to others. I feel like you hide your emotions a lot. Like, there are just some things that you feel very strongly about, but because you're afraid that what is this person going to feel if I say it out loud, or what is this person going to think about me if I say it out loud. So there are some things that you just do not open up about or do not say, even though you are very strongly either hurt or you strongly like that thing. So you shouldn't be doing that, firstly. And there's a lot of wands or like fire energy, so you might have a very strong fire sign. Like, you may be an Aries, for example, or a Leo, or a very fiery sign. There are a lot of cards that just pop out for you, which is very weird since my cards usually don't pop out. But yeah, from what I can see, it shows that you have a lot of creativity and you know how to make money. Like, you know how to handle money, or even if you're not earning right now, it shows that you know what to do with your money. You know exactly how to use your money, and you have plans for how you're going to use your money after you start earning. Even if you're receiving pocket money right now, I can see that you are the type of person that saves some of the amount from the pocket money and keeps it aside for kind of future savings in case of emergencies. So you might be that kind of a person, and it shows that you have a lot of ideas and a lot of things you just persist about. You keep going even though you have failed many times. This might be even your studies, for example, but you are very active towards it, and that is a very good thing. And it also shows that you can triumph over it very, not very easily, I would not say, but you can triumph very beautifully above it, whatever the situation might be. I i for some of you, I feel like it is related to studies. For some reason, it can also be related to higher studies, like you're taking an entrance exam, for example, or something like that. But a lot of you, I feel like this has something to do with your studies. So if you are going right now, if you have a like an idea of where you want to be in life, and even though you have appeared once and you have failed, then do not overthink it too much. I can see that a lot of you are just going to succeed in life naturally. Nah, not naturally, because even though people say that they are naturally gifted, I don't actually believe that there is something naturally about it, because I can see that a lot of you are very hardworking. All of you are very hardworking, and you have worked hard to be where you are, and you are still working hard to go where you want to go in life. So do not feel, if someone says that you are naturally gifted, do not feel offended by that, because this is very, even though it is a compliment, it is not really a compliment. And I can see that a lot of people do not appreciate you for your hard work and just take it as though you already know everything and that you are the best, or you are just naturally like that, you don't have to put in the efforts. A lot of people are just not looking at the efforts that you are trying to put in, and that you had to put in behind the scenes constantly. But I can see that you are going to make a lot of money, so you should focus on your efforts very well. I have no advice for you, Abhita, till now. Okay, this card also popped out in the earlier pile one reading. So if you feel attracted to pile one also, then you should go and check that out as well. But the Three of Cups is a friendship energy. You might have, either it is an extreme ends. You might either have very good friends or very bad friends, and both of them, even only one of them, is a good thing. Having good friends is very good, but for most people, the amount of good friends is very less. There can either be one or two, or there are just friends and not any good friends. But for you, I guess I can see that a lot of you are kind of loners, like except for one or two very very good friends that have been there for you for since a long time. You do not prefer to hang out much or put yourself out there quite often. You only make friends that are acquaintances, or all of your friends other than your constants have a time limit. Like after 4 years of college, this person is not going to be a friend anymore. Or after 1 year of working here, if you're going to shift to another place, you're just making acquaintances again and again and again. But except for one or two people, you are not letting anyone else in, which is not a good sign usually, because I can see that a lot of you have good connections to be made in different places. And because you are just not putting yourself out there, you are not taking an action towards actually making genuine connections, you might be losing out on all of those friendships. These friendships, I can see, are trying to make you learn something that you haven't learned yet, and that you have to learn to get somewhere. You should give friendships just give them a chance. Don't exclude yourself from certain situations. I'm still very confused about what your guides are trying to tell you, so I'm going to be using another deck, which is this one, to get more clearer on what is going on. And I'll have to turn on the lights because the sun has gone down, so I'll just be back in 1 second. There we go. And now you can see the cards. But yeah. Okay, so let's see what other messages your guides are trying to tell you. Group number 2. Okay. What else you're supposed to know about yourself or about your situation. Okay. Now I get why you don't have friends other than your own circle of friends. You have a lot of, I wouldn't say ego, but your personal beliefs. And you're not willing to sacrifice for those beliefs for anyone. And oftentimes, this is a very good thing. Being aware of yourself, being self confident, and having your own opinions very clear, and knowing what you want is a very good sign. But in certain situations, just sticking to your own opinion about something is not a good thing. Like, you need to hear other people out and you need to understand where they are coming from to understand a situation better. And I can see that you have had a lot of fights, and there has been a lot of arguments surrounding you in the sense that you are involved in, not behind your backs. It could also be behind your backs. As I'm saying this, I just realized that it could also be behind your backs. But there have been a lot of arguments that you have been a part of that are something that you could have avoid if you just tried to understand the other person a little bit better. I can see that even though you tried your best to do it, you are not fully understanding a person very well, and you should try to do that. I can clearly see that you have a fire energy, because this is something that I've seen a lot with fire energies, that they have a hard time listening, not listening, but understanding to other people's opinions and letting go of their own, which is a very good thing to learn. And once you start making connections with other people and you try to understand them more and listen to them more than you speak, you will understand the situation better. You will understand where you come from better. And I can also see that this is a path to your success, maybe. That there are some things that you wanted to do but you could not do because you have not been communicating with people well. Once you learn proper communication, you can actually have a very good career opportunity, and you can do very well in your career. Okay, I'm going to be pulling out a few other cards for you guys. Okay, you are avoiding karmic justice. I feel like you have been affected unfairly by other people's choices, maybe, and that is why you have been avoiding constantly. But you should not be doing that. Just because of a few people, do not make it a generalization. I think you should be listening to other people where to stop avoiding the need to listen to other people. Okay. A lot of you, I feel like, based on this reading as it's going, you just feel very directionless. Like, you do not have any idea now what to do. So, do not overthink it. Like, I also see that a lot of you have lost a couple of childhood friends because of things like this, like unfair communication, biases, maybe just proper miscommunication that happens often in childhood. But you should, at this point, just give and receive without any expectations. Like, do not keep things to yourself. as we had discussed earlier from this cups energy, you do keep a lot of things to yourself, even in your like close friends and very long friendships. Also, you keep a lot of things to yourself, and doing this has affected you in ways that you do not realize at this time, but you will soon enough. And stop avoiding your past, stop avoiding those people that are actually trying to communicate with you, who are trying to understand where you're coming from. Stop trying to do that. You should revisit your childhood home, maybe go connect with your friends, have an increased level of harmony, and try to understand where the people might be coming from. I feel like for some of you, developing proper communication is a very good skill. Like, even in general, that is a very good skill. But for you guys, I feel like once you develop proper communication, you will do very well in life. Like, you are going to thrive in life once you understand how to communicate with people. Because even though, sorry, even though you have very great ideas, but because you are not communicating them well enough to other people, or you are not putting yourself forth properly, you are being affected. I'm sorry, but yeah, you should be doing that. Also, I feel like for you guys, the number 5 or the number 6, that could be your master number. The 5 and 6 have been repeated quite a lot throughout the readings, like a bunch of cards are 5 or 6. So you should pay attention to the 5s and 6 that are around you. And you might also benefit from paying attention to your throat chakra. Like, if you feel like doing exercises or meditation to activate your throat chakra, I feel like you will benefit a lot from that. If you look at the bottom of the deck card, there is a challenging time ahead. It's the Wheel of Fortune. This is honestly one of my favorite cards. Every time it comes in the reading, it just makes things very clear for me. So, as you discussed earlier, I feel like you need to change. You need to start communicating. There is going to be a time ahead that is going to come very soon that may be very difficult for you to adjust to if you don't communicate well enough. You will feel powerless against the external forces, and you will feel everyone is against you or is working against you. But you need to take action and actually trying to communicate and understand where the people are coming from, to better yourself and to actually reach a point which is beneficial for you. Because the Wheel of Fortune is a very good card. Like, it shows that you have destiny and you have growth in the cards for you very clearly, but you are not taking the opportunity because you are not able to communicate. Once you try to communicate and properly communicate without any prejudice or pre-informed notions, you're going to do very well. I feel like a lot of people are trying to communicate with you, so you should definitely give that a chance. So yeah, that is the reading for today. If I just had to summarize the whole reading into a few takeaways, then I would say, firstly, stop keeping things to yourself. Secondly, take the action and start to learn how to communicate. Understand where other people are coming from. And even though you think that this is your negative, this is a very pessimistic thing, but honestly, this is a very good thing. Being able to communicate will help you in all directions, so learn how to communicate. And thirdly, pay attention to the 5s and 6 around you, because I feel like something could be happening in 5 to 6 days or 5 to 6 months. I don't feel like it's hours because it doesn't feel that quick, but there is some opportunity coming for you within the next 5 to 6 days or 5 to 6 months from when you're taking this reading. This is a timeless reading, so don't worry about that. Okay? Don't think, look at the upload date and then calculate. But the time counts from when you start reading. Thank you for joining. And if you have any other comments for me on how to better myself out in this reading or any other comments, please comment down below. Thank you.